That night, the bar was alive with noise, the kind of restless energy that seeps into the air when too many people gather under dim lights and heavy smoke, where every corner carried laughter mixed with curses, the scrape of chairs against sticky floors, and the sharp clink of glasses that drowned out any softer voice brave enough to try to rise above it. And it was here in this world of shadows and chaos, where men armored themselves in leather jackets and tattoos as if toughness were the only language anyone could understand, that people forgot the fragile humanity of those working quietly behind the counter, serving drink after drink, pretending to be invisible. Among them was Emily, a waitress who moved quickly and quietly, blending into the background with a humility that kept her from drawing attention. Dressed in plain jeans and a white button-down shirt, her hair tied neatly away from her face, her footsteps efficient, her eyes calm, her smile polite though faintly tired, and beneath that quiet surface she carried storms no one could see, burdens she had never spoken aloud, experiences almost unimaginable to the rowdy crowd before her. Fate often finds its way to those who try hardest to avoid it, and when a group of bikers rolled in that evening, filling the bar with louder laughter, harsher shoves, and an energy that demanded dominance, Emily tried to keep her distance, focusing on her tasks, hoping their eyes would pass over her unnoticed. But predators often sense the quiet ones, and one of them, a tall man with broad shoulders, arms covered in crawling tattoos, and a cruel grin sharpened into habit, grew restless, his gaze locking on her with the kind of intent that made the air heavier. He called out to her with taunts, his words biting, his tone mocking, trying to shake her composure, but when she refused to flinch, her silence striking him as defiance. His pride curdled into anger, and in front of the whole room, he reached out and with one violent tug ripped open her shirt, expecting to humiliate, expecting laughter at her expense, expecting weakness exposed. Gasps erupted, followed by cruel laughter, but then the room shifted, because what stared back at them, etched across Emily's chest bold and unshaken, was not frailty but the unmistakable emblem of the United States Marine Corps, not a random tattoo but a symbol carved from sacrifice, a story of courage, a history of battles that ran deeper than scars, and the moment froze the crowd. The biker who had expected shame now felt his hand tremble, his grin falter, because in that instant he realized he had torn open not just a shirt, but the silence surrounding a woman stronger than he could ever hope to be. For Emily was no ordinary waitress. She was a Marine, a veteran whose presence demanded respect in ways louder than fists or threats could ever achieve. The bar hushed, every drunken smirk fading, the weight of recognition pressing on everyone present. Emily stood steady, her breathing calm, her eyes fixed forward, and though the emblem across her chest was visible for all to see, it was never something she flaunted nor something she wished to be admired for. It was simply a part of her history, a reminder burned into her skin of decisions made in youth, of years of service that shaped her spirit, and of pain carried long after uniforms were folded away. She had joined the Marines not chasing glory, not chasing recognition, but because she needed escape from poverty, from despair, from a life that offered no chances. And while she had survived countless struggles before enlisting, the military forged her in ways that words could not capture. She had endured nights haunted by fear, days consumed by survival, and she had watched friends fall, their memories forever etched in her silence. Returning home, she carried those invisible wounds with her, choosing quiet jobs, moving through life without drawing notice, never seeking pity, never explaining the story behind the tattoo that bore more weight than pride. Yet on that night, without her consent, the truth was laid bare, and the entire bar was forced to confront the quiet power they had overlooked. The biker who had mocked her stepped back, his false bravado crumbling, realizing he had not revealed weakness, but stumbled upon honor far greater than his own. And the crowd behind him shifted uneasily, their earlier laughter now burning with shame, their eyes dropping, their hands restless as the silence pressed against them. Emily, however, did not seize the moment for revenge or pride. She straightened her torn shirt with composure, her face calm, her dignity intact, and without a word she returned to her work, her silence louder than any speech could have been, her strength unshaken, her grace undeniable. From that moment forward, the people in the bar looked at her differently, seeing not just the quiet woman who poured drinks and cleared tables, but a warrior who carried scars deeper than leather and chains, a fighter who deserved respect far more than pity. Word of what happened spread through town in whispers, reshaping how people treated her. Customers who once overlooked her began to greet her warmly. Strangers offered thanks for her service, though she had never asked for it, and slowly recognition replaced disregard. Yet, beneath this new respect, Emily continued to battle privately with the shadows of her past, memories that disrupted sleep, loneliness that weighed heavy, and wounds no one could see. Her work at the bar was more than a paycheck. It was distraction, a way to keep her mind from sinking too deeply into darker places. Even in her quiet suffering, she found ways to extend kindness, covering shifts for younger co-workers, listening patiently to patrons who had no one else to confide in, slipping meals to the hungry drifter who appeared now and then. Her pain never stopped her from easing someone else's burden, and that was perhaps her greatest strength of all. The biker never returned, perhaps driven away by shame, perhaps by fear, but the lesson of that night stayed alive. Those who witnessed it remembered vividly how strength does not always roar, how real power is often quiet, steady, and unyielding, needing no audience to prove itself, only a moment to be revealed. Years later, long after the bar closed and stories faded into rumor, Emily's name still carried meaning. To some, she remained the waitress with the Marine Corps tattoo. To others, she was the woman who forced them to reconsider how easily they dismissed the quiet ones. But to those who truly knew her, she became a symbol that every person carries a story, many of them unseen, some of them powerful enough to change the way others see the world. Emily never sought applause, never wanted the spotlight. She only wished for a little peace in a noisy world. But life has a way of showing us that the strongest among us are often the ones carrying battles no one else sees. Her story reminds us that strength comes not from shouting the loudest or striking the hardest, but from enduring silently, with dignity, even when no one is watching. And if this story has touched you, remember to share it, comment on it, and subscribe for more stories that honor kindness, courage, and the hidden strength carried by ordinary people who turn out to be extraordinary.